For both of you guys, it started well. I mean, it came out of the box pretty good, but then it wasn't able to be sustained over all four quarters. For both of you, how do you kind of process the way the day went? Because there was promise at the beginning, but then it kind of went by the boards a bit.
We got to play the full game. um, Talked about it all week. I mean, just finishing and especially responding. Like when defense allows a score, we just got to respond. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways of today. I mean, we can't have a score and then go 3 and out and expect them to go back on the field and do what they're supposed to do. I think a lot of what happened on defense today was our fault, and not keeping them off the field, not keeping the ball in our hands. And it was promising at the beginning, but it just doesn't matter how you start the game. It's about how you finish the game.
You basically touched it all. We just need to keep the defense off the field, we were moving it a lot in the beginning, driving on them, and we just slowed up towards the end. We just need to keep that consistency going. But this bye week should help us out a lot and touch on what we need to work on better.
Describe your touchdown run from upstairs. I mean, it looked like the offensive line opened up a big hole on that right side, and you were able to hit it, perfectly. Describe it from your point of view, what you saw.
I hit my normal footwork. I looked to, I did my, what's it called, C to B to A reads. I saw the hole and took off and touchdown.
You mentioned it, Justin, and Gavin, you can address this too. I mean, you guys do have a bye week to work through some things from the offensive point of view. What is the thing that you feel like you need to focus on to get yourselves where you want to be?
I think the biggest thing is consistency. We showed a lot of good things out there today, but we also showed a lot of bad things out there. We got to keep the good things going and then eliminate the bad things. And it's just consistency. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing that I can see from today is just keeping the good things going. And as you can see, we didn't do that today. We had some good things, but we also had a lot of bad things today, and just gotta weigh them out right.
Any thoughts, Justin, on that?
No, I agree 100% what he said. There's consistency about it.
Sharp contrast in the day. I mean, I thought both sides of the ball started really well. Montana needed a gadget play to score on offense. Of course, they got the turnover and scored, but kind of describe it from your point of view. I mean, it was going good early, but then it unfortunately wasn't able to be sustained.
Yeah, like you said, we started off strong. I mean, with that 3 and out, and I can only speak for myself. I got to be better in that play on that back end. Trust my guys to make that play and not be such in a rush to try to make a play. So, and then, like you said, we just got to stay together when stuff go bad. We know those guys were a good team, but we feel like we can play with anybody. So, that wasn't a surprise of starting off strong. So we just got to keep going and learn from this.
Is it the hardest thing when you do start a game well like you guys did, and then it starts to get away from you a little bit? They scored on their first series of the second half to kind of give them the momentum they kept for the rest of the game. Is it hard to dig yourself, from a player's point of view, to dig yourself out of those holes? And how does the team collectively try to keep itself going, when there is some adversity inside games?
I mean, we practice those situations all the time. In practice, our coaches do a great job of getting us prepared for everything. So, as players, we just always have to be ready to just play the next play. That's just kind of disappointing. And myself, I can only speak for myself that we just got to play the next play. 2
weeks to prepare for your next game. How important do you feel like this 2 weeks is? I'm sure you guys will practice throughout. What do you guys need to do to get yourself where you want to be?
Get better. Practice every day, get better. Like Coach said in the locker room, this is an off week. We need to get better. Collectively, everybody needs to get better.
Do you feel like the team, I hate to say it because it sounds like a cliche, but is this game and maybe last week to some degree as well, kind of, a wake-up call isn't really what I want to say, but I mean, it kind of opens your guys' eyes to how much, better you need to be? I mean, can it be a good thing going forward that you guys know the level you need to be at and what you have to rise to?
I think it could be a good thing, make us come together. We've preached the whole offseason just staying together. We struggled with that last year, and we have to stay together to turn the season around this year. So we've been preaching that since day one this year, so we got to focus on staying together and not trying to pull apart collectively.